describe the situation that Major League Baseball finds themselves in right now?
Yeah, the biggest thing is trying to find a way for the players and the owners to be able to split the pie or come as close to it as possible. The players feel like they don't have a big enough share of the pie, and from what I've seen on the surface, it doesn't look like they're asking to grab too much of it. From what I've been told, it just feels like the the communication between the two sides has not been as great as you would expect it to be, or considering the way things have gone the last couple of years as far as the relationship between the union and Major League Baseball, the communication and their relationship hasn't been that great. And to make a deal, you need both sides to be able to listen to the other. And it feels just like there's been some sort of impasse as far as that goes. But basically, the players want more teams to compete and try to win. And the owners are concerned about big market teams. The owners are, sorry about that.
Yes.
Nothing I could do about emergencies on the streets of the San Fernando Valley, Jonathan.
No, exactly.
Sorry.
No worries.
Yeah, so basically the owners are concerned about big market teams runaway spending, and that's part of the biggest hurdle to cross, is trying to settle on a number and escalation of the number when it comes to the luxury tax threshold. The players wanted higher and to climb higher with the growth of the business, and the owners want to protect the smaller markets.
Okay. So, and why wait until now? We know that, the season wrapped up back in October or late October, but it looked like everything was just getting pushed closer and closer to this deadline. Is there a reason why the negotiation process took so long?
Yeah, that's just how negotiations work. One side can't give their best offer right away, because then you have nowhere else to go. You put yourself in a corner. So I know it's a very easy reaction to say, why haven't they negotiated before this self-imposed deadline by Major League Baseball? But that's the dance. And honestly, I do agree to a certain extent. They should have started talking about some of the ancillary things regarding the product on the field and other things that may have been easier to be agreed upon before they started to tackle the bigger financial issues that they're facing right now. There would have been no harm in doing so. And maybe when you start to agree on the little things, it may have been easier to agree on the bigger things as we got closer to when spring training was supposed to start. So I do see that for part of the CBA, which governs the entire game and the entire sport. It's not just about the luxury tax or arbitration or a draft lottery. This collective bargaining agreement governs the entire sport. So I do believe they should have been able to work through some of the easier issues in December.
Cool. So just two more things, David. I wanted to ask you, out of all of the elements being discussed right now from both sides, which of those do you think is most impeding?
It's the luxury tax threshold. That's the biggest thing that's holding this up, from my understanding. And they could talk about everything else, but the luxury tax threshold's big. The minimum salary. I think the players, they may be asking for more help when it comes to arbitration and guys that may be eligible in the first 2 years of their careers to get paid what they're worth. But that's such a small number of players that even would be considered for that. To me, it's not worth missing games and trying to haggle over that. The bigger issue for the players, as it is right now, without completely demanding to overhaul the system, would be the luxury tax threshold and trying to get minimum salaries escalated.
Right. And David, based off what you know right now, last question, when can we expect the deal to be finalized? And by when do you expect the 2022 Major League Baseball season will start?
Yeah, from the people I've spoken to on the players' side, they feel like the end of March is a realistic deadline. And when I say realistic deadline, a deadline for both sides to have equal urgency to get the season and spring training underway, because the further along this goes, the players are not the only ones that start to lose money. the owners start to lose revenue with kids getting out of school, the weather warming up, and also television contracts being cashed in. So everybody I spoke to makes me believe that by the end of March, we should have baseball. And if that happens, I don't believe it's doomsday if you have opening day sometime in April or even May 1st. I don't believe it's doomsday if it's 145 games or 150 games. They did that in 1995 where they only played 144 games. So for all the people that want to talk about doomsday, it would not be doomsday if they get opening day by May 1st.